Awesome.
At right time, I know I was going to get a phone call. Yeah, this is the garage with my car.
Yeah, let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. All right, there we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Looks like we are live in the building. I'll take over right now. We got 5 people in the house watching. So goes in the house, 351 Cleveland. Thomas is in the house. George Fisherman, what's going on?
All right, guys. How am I getting here?
All right, cool.
All right, guys. Welcome to episode number 2 of What is in Your Tackle? It's a talk show coming to you to discuss what tackle you bring to the table. Our special guest today is Mr. Hazlife. So
going on?
I'll let you.
Hope you guys are having a blessed Tuesday. I'm having a great day. Got off work a little early, so that was good, man. And then we got rain coming in tomorrow and Thursday. Wow, that normally is bad news for some, but that's great news for me because I work construction with my uncle. We run a business, so we can't do no work tomorrow. So I'll be out fishing. Can't wait.
I'll be out working. Hopefully. We got about 4 people in here: Mike Murillo, Evan TV, Sogo, Thomas Littlepage. All right. We can get started right here. We'll just go ahead and we'll start with the smallest stuff. Haz, let me know what you got, what tackle you bring to the table when it comes to bass fishing.
All right. Well, yeah, we can start off with the bass fishing. So first we'll talk about the setup that I use. I just dropped a video on this today actually as well. A review of this reel, so you guys can check that out. But this is a Lew's Mach 2 speed spool. This was my very first bait caster that I ever owned. I started off bass fishing. My coworker, he gave me a bunch of old classic antique spinning reels and such. And I wanted to get more serious into bass fishing. And I saw that bait caster was like the way to go. Once I switched to bait caster, I understood why. Obviously, you have to get used to it because you got to deal with backlashes. It's definitely a learning curve. But once you get over that learning curve, pinpoint accuracy. You can literally like throw this up under a dock, hit exactly where you want to cast that. That's what I love about bait casters, is just the accuracy of it. And when it comes to bass fishing, those that know bass fishing, you have to go through a lot of lures. You know, you go through a lot of different stuff. So what you're throwing may not be working, and so you have to switch it up. So one of my favorite things to do, not sure if you guys can see this, is I have a clip that I tie right on to the end of my my main line, and I have 30-pound braid. And what I do is when I want to change up my lures, I just take the clip off and boom, put another lure on. So that way I can just be very easy accessible. It doesn't change up the action on it, so you guys will be you'll be okay with that. And my favorite number one bait to throw is this right here. This is a football jig head with a creature bait on it. Any type of creature bait. This one right here, I'm not sure, I don't remember what brand this was, but Guggen baits are one of my favorite. They're not durable and they're pretty pricey. So I think this is Missile. This is a Missile brand. They're a lot more durable.
Have you tried the color pink yet?
What's that?
Have you tried the color pink on the creature baits?
I have not tried pink. This right here is like the watermelon, like green, speckled flakes. But I have tried bubble gum in a worm. I haven't had any action on it, so I haven't tried pink in a creature bait. I actually haven't seen a creature bait. They have one that makes that have pink creature baits.
I think so. I mean, most of the all your kind of like lures or creature baits like that, they'll come out with a pink. It's hard to get, but most of them I think do come out with one.
See, oh, we just knocked the rod down. And my second number one favorite to throw is my spinning rod. This right here is my light tackle. It's 6 pound test, and this is what I used to throw like anything weightless, like my Senkos right here.
Yeah.
And I use O-rings and wacky rig are the ways that I like to rig these up. And they have the best hookup ratio, and as far as like cast to bass ratio, like you don't have to throw many casts and you're gonna catch a bass. Majority of my catches are on the fall, so with it being weightless, it's gonna take a while to fall, and I normally fish this in about 5 to 8 feet of water. If you're fishing any deeper than that, you're gonna want to have to put a I don't think I have any, but you're gonna have to put these little lead weights that go into the end of them to it just makes them sink.
I've got some of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
We call it like a little bullet, almost like a toothpick weight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's welcome Ohio in here, Ohio for Life, and Maurice Cason's in here.
Hey, what's going on?
Welcome.
I know we have a lot of bass fishing guys. Catfishing guys in here, but I love to bass fish. And where the water temps are warming up, and I just can't wait to go out there and get on some. When I'm bass fishing, I do it out of the kayak majority of the time, and this is what I have on me at all times in my kayak. This is when you're on a kayak. My kayak is not like a expensive one of those fancy fish kayaks. It's only like a $400 kayak, so I don't have a lot of storage space. So I just throw everything right in here, and
sounds like me.
What's that?
It sounds like me.
Yeah. And you guys can see I have this thing stuffed to the brim. We have a lot of different options to go through right here. One of my favorites are top water, especially when you're going after snakeheads. So in Maryland, we have snakeheads, and I love to go after snakeheads. And this right here, not sure if you guys can see it. It's a frog. It's the Guggenbait's frog, eat me, black. And what I did was I added a stinger hook right here.
Okay. Yep.
So that, because you know how frogs are, they have these two hooks right here. They have to bite down. The hookup ratio is not that good, especially when you're fishing out of a kayak because you're very low to the water. When you're fishing out of a boat, you have a better hookup ratio because you're yanking it up. But when you're in a kayak, you're yanking this thing like basically right out of his mouth. So what to improve the hookup ratio, I added a stinger hook. These are one of my favorite go-tos, and also the Scout, I believe is what it's called. It's just a walking bait that you use on top of the water, right here. It pops water. You just jerk it across the top of the water, and
that's kind of what we call a jerk bait.
Yep. A jerk bait, but on top of the water. They have jerk baits.
On top. Yeah.
It goes suspended, and this one right here just sits on top of the water. Those right there, and the lipless crankbaits are probably like my go-to when it comes to bass fishing. I try when I try a new lure, I try to just go out there and experiment with it and keep working with it until I learn how to catch a fish with it. Because every different bait, each bait you can throw you can work it 5 different ways, 6 different ways. You can work just for this bait, for instance, you can reel in with it, you spit on the middle of the water column. You can let it go all the way to the bottom, and then you can just pop it up, and just let it sink back down. There's so many different ways to bass fishing is very, very, very tricky. You have to figure out how they want it. Like in wintertime, you want to go slow, very, very slow, very, very slow, and cold, and not just winter, but just cold water temps. as they're getting aggressive and they're starting to forage and eat more, then you can go to some faster moving baits.
I got Uncle Lou come in here, Big Slim. So,
What's
hey,
going
welcome you
on?
all. All right, let's get into talking about some hooks.
Okay, so when it comes to bass fishing, the hooks that I use are primarily these J hooks right here. This is a smaller hook. I have bigger ones, but they have a J hook with a little. Not sure if you guys can see. There we go. You see how it has that ledge right here? This
Yeah.
ledge allows you to sit. You like your worms and your creature baits. They sit on top of here, and then you stretch it out over top of the bait. I believe I have some already hooked up. I'm not sure. Let me see. But that's primarily what we do when I'm using bass fishing is J hooks.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the time. Unless I have a live bait on the hook, then I will go to a circle hook. Like if I'm, but I've never caught a bass on live bait before. I've tried.
Ever tried the off-centered hooks?
No, I don't think so. No, I haven't. I have not. But yeah, J hooks for bass. And you have to set those. You have to set the hook.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when I use the drop shot, I use a different type of hook. It's a drop shot hook. They're a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Then that's what you use for when I'm just fishing my wacky rig Senkos and such. A lot smaller hook. But man, it's fun when you catch a fish on a wacky rig because you can feel the bite. Like you get to feel the bite and you get to set the hook on them. And I've caught my biggest bass on light tackle, 6-pound test was about 4 pounds. It was a great fight.
Ohio says that he loves catching smallmouth on live creek chub or shiners.
I've caught a few smallmouth, but on inline spinners are what I've caught them on, inline spinners.
So it might be something to look into, doing some like a little creek chub or little shiners.
Yeah, I definitely I've tried minnows before, but I've only caught pike and chain pickerel. I was fishing up in a lake in Maryland, and they have all different types of species in that lake. And pike and chain pickerel run heavy in there.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with weights. What kind of weights we're using for either one?
Okay. For bass is bullet weights.
Okay.
Yeah. Simple. I have some right here. Oops. For bass fishing, we have simple bullet weights. That's what we use pretty much all the time. And then of course, when it comes to catfishing, I use coins. I've been through a bunch of different weights, and coins have been the ones that seem to hold bottom the best and get snagged the less in my water. So that's what I use. And majority of the time, I use 4 ounces right here, just 4-ounce coin weight.
Right.
When I'm fishing from the bank or from the boat. The Potomac River current isn't that strong unless it's like we had a bad rainstorm and then the water is ripping. But majority of the time, the current isn't that bad, especially when you have like incoming tide because you have tide pushing against the current. So it slows down the current dramatically.
So what's your PB on bass right now?
My PB on bass is about 4 pounds. I think about 4 pounds. And I caught him. I was fishing on 4th of July last year, and I was going to my juice spot, like my favorite pond to go to, but COVID like killed my like bass fishery. Like it was super hard, very hard to catch bass any of the ponds or lakes because everything shut down, so that just pushed everybody out fishing and going to the waters. New fishermen, everybody. So these bass are seeing everything all day long, like pretty much. And I started fishing at probably like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and I didn't have a single bite or nibble until as the sun was setting around like 8 o'clock, 8:30. I stayed persistent. I felt a bite. He felt very good, but he
Yeah.
missed the hookup. And I kept casting and casting. Then I left him alone, went to a different spot, came back 5 minutes later, and went back and I caught him on a wacky rig. I just stayed persistent. I knew he was over there. Bass
Yeah.
territorial, they stayed like in their generalized spots. So and I hooked up to him and caught him, and he was it's a very small pond too. It's not even that big, but it's the biggest bass I've caught.
Gotcha. Do you carry your stuff in anything like your tackle and stuff? Do you carry it in like a bag, or you carry it in anything specific?
Yes. So my all my bass fishing gear I carry in this what is this? It's a Sumo Samurai Tactical Fish. I bought this thing out of Dick's. It was like $70. But the thing that I loved about it was it has this drop down, and then I have 3 of these trays that fit right in here, and then I have 2 more trays that fit right up in here. So I can fit 5 trays, and then I also have like all of like my terminal, any other miscellaneous stuff, fish grippers, scales right here. Then I put all of my plastics right in here in the front, and then also on the sides too as well. And it can also carry 2 rods. It has a place for 2 rods. I've never put rods on the back. I usually put my my tripod for my camera on one side, and like I'll put rod holders on the other side. So it works. It's definitely great, especially when you want to YouTube fish. Having that tripod at all times. You never know when you're gonna need it. So.
No, never. I just use a little regular bag, throw all my stuff in, and go on all my gear for even creek fishing. It's all in I use a lunch box. I take everything out of it and I just shove everything down it. So
yeah,
it all fits there.
And then all my catfishing gear fits like pretty much right in here, except for my weights. I have in like one of those Army ammo crates. I got all my weights sitting in there.
Now we got Wandering Fishing came in. We got Lyle from Catfish Weekly. Welcome everybody. We got 11 people in the house now. Greenwheel Fishing is on here. We just set up. Greenwheel will be on in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
So I've got him in 2 weeks. Everybody tune into next week. I'll go ahead and drop the news next week. We've got Tim Scott from Epic and Sean from Catfish Heroes. Both will be on the live next week, going over tackle. So
that would be a great show to watch. That would definitely be a great show.
Yeah. So
but too, he bumps a lot too. So I watch a lot of his bumping stuff. So
Greenwell, yes. Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely going to be into some good stuff, information and stuff on that one.
Yes.
Let's get into catfishing, man. If you're ready. All right. We'll start off with the simplest thing. What kind of rods?
What's that?
What kind of rods?
Rods. So what's up, Mama? Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, my daughter just came in. So all these rods behind me, they're new. I would get into those, but what I used to catch pretty much all my catfish on for like the first year and a half of catfishing was this Penn Fierce right here. This Penn Fierce 3. It was a Penn Fierce 3 combo. I just recently switched out the reel to an Avenger bait runner just because I love a bait. If you do use spinning reels, it's very good to use a bait runner. And a GX2 ugly stick. Those were like my 2 rods that I went out catfishing with for like a year and a half. I've caught 52-pound on the Penn Fierce. I've caught a lot of monsters on the GX2 as well. And then over the last 4 months, I like really started getting serious into catfishing. And then my very first catfishing rod that I ordered was I'm drawing a blank right now. Sorry. I'm trying to think.
No. Think about
Chad Ferguson, help me out.
it. Oh gosh, I can't even think of it right now. Chad Ferguson, no.
But anyways, obviously, we wasn't worried about mentioning that. The most important ride right here is Chris Flores.
Oh yes, absolutely. I was going to say you were making into that one.
Yeah, the Whisker Seeker. The Whisker Seeker.
Yeah,
That's my
Whisker
first.
Seeker. Yeah, Morello.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morello.
Yeah, the Whisker Seeker. So
Yeah.
the Whisker Seeker, I caught. I hit up Chunky Cats, and that's how I found out about the Whisker Seeker and the Muddy River Blue Cat ride. He let me borrow both of them, and I went out and caught the 62 pounder.
Yeah, your PB there. Yeah.
Yeah, on Chunky Cat's Whisker Seeker.
Yeah.
So of course I ordered a Whisker Seeker right after that. I love that rod. But Chunky likes a very wiggly, rod, and that's medium heavy. I went with the heavy action because I like a little stiffer backbone and sensitive tip. And that's why I also love the Muddy Rivers because they have a stiff backbone and a very sensitive tip. But the Whisker Seekers are great though. They make every fish that you catch. Like that's what I tell. Like if you want to just take your friends out, catfishing.
Yeah.
Whisker Seekers or a light action rod is very good for them because they'll get to feel. If they catch a 5 fish, you're gonna feel every head shake.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel great. It's gonna feel like a good fight.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And as I, started stepping my game up even more, I added the Slime Cat Joker rods and the Tangle with Cats. These right here, just because I like nighttime fishing a lot, and I didn't want to have to go, paint my rods like Chunky, that.
Yeah.
I like the rods the way they come. I want to leave them. The most I will do is add, reflective tape, which I have done.
Yeah.
They definitely help with nighttime fishing. But I'm not a good painter. I'm a terrible painter.
We can only have one Chunky.
Yeah, there's only one.
Absolutely only one.
Yeah, so that's when I had to jump off with other brands. I hope that Chris will eventually come out with a green chili juju rod, man. That would be awesome. But until then, these are the rods we got. If I'm daytime fishing, you're gonna see these blue cat rods out there, and if we're nighttime fishing, you're gonna see the jokers and the Tangle of Cats.
I mentioned to Chris one day. I told him, I said, "Hey, you need to come up with a UK wildcat fishing pole."
Oh yeah.
I need a UK wildcat fishing pole.
Yeah, the colors are very close. They're
yes. Yeah, I mean, especially the one you've got right now.
Yeah.
The Muddy River one. I mean, it's blue and white. I mean, that's what our UK colors are, blue and white. It just needs to have a little bit more blue on it.
Yeah.
A little bit more mix of blue and white.
Most definitely.
Yeah. All right. We talked about hooks on your bass. What about hooks on catfish? I know you like using some of the. I think you said one time. I think 8-aught.
Yes. So as I've got into catfishing more, I've stepped up my sizes. When I first started out, I was like a 4-aught and 5-aught circle hooks, and 5-aught circle hooks will still catch a big catfish. I caught a 52 pounder on a 5-aught circle hook. But you can't hook a lot of bait onto smaller circle hooks. But I was using eel, and eel, it's not a very big bait. When you're throwing eel out there, it's, you're cutting up small chunks. They're just very heavily scented in that water, and that scent comes out it has a very good scent trail. Now I started using more 8-aughts, 9-aughts, and most recently in my most recent video, I used the 10-aught Reaper hooks.
Okay.
Those were my first time trying the Reaper hooks, and they are very good. They are very sharp. I do like them. I got them on Tackle Bandit, but normally I'm a Gamakatsu guy. But they don't make a lot of bulk 10-aught and up. Like you can get 8-aught, but after that 9-aught, 10-aught, 11-aught, you can't really find the Gamakatsus. I've tried, I've looked, so I start switching up my circle hooks as I go to bigger sizes. So now I'm just experimenting, trying to figure out what works, and Reaper hooks work great. So I'm probably going to stick with them for now.
Do you buy your stuff in bulk?
Yes, I like to buy in bulk just because when you're fishing rivers, they're going to break off a lot. And if you're buying hooks 3 at a time, 4 at a time, you're going to be, and if you're buying like multiple packs of them, you're going to spend a lot more money than if you're buying like a 25 pack. The Reaper hooks, they sell 10, for $8.50, and then I also had like a 15% off. So I got them like $6 for a pack of 10, which isn't bad at all. That's pretty good.
No, not
Yeah.
too bad.
Yeah.
Where do you usually buy your tackle from?
I usually buy it from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
That's like the only local spot near me. And Walmart doesn't really have much, so I don't go to Walmart pretty much all anymore. So Dick's Sporting Goods, Amazon, and now in the catfish community, if there's somebody out here that has it, I will go to them first before I would go to any of these big companies. When it comes to like Uncle Lou's, he hooked me up with my my floats that I use, my spooks, you can call them, and also my planer boards as well. So if there's somebody out here that got it, I'd rather go to them.
Absolutely. I'll say a couple other people. Got Mad Catter in here. We also have, I think it was George Ray, our UK friend, who was in here. He wanted to say hi. Greenwell says those ADOT gammas will catch big fish.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, they most definitely will.
He also said look up blackout bait and tackle.
Okay, I would definitely check it out. Well, definitely check it out.
Yeah. All right.
As long as it's sharp, strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're good to go. There's plenty of different brands, so I'm definitely open to try. But if the hook fails me, I can't mess with it. You only got that big cat, so you want to have the right gear.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got right now. I think I'm using Team Catfish. I'm doing Walmart, but I'm on a budget. I'm one of those I'm on a budget right now. So
I wanted the Team Catfish, but they didn't have them in stock at Tackle Bandit in the size that I wanted, so I found the Reapers. But I heard Team Catfish is very good too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Greenwell, I will make you a mod, dude. Anytime. That way you can do it.
Yeah, thanks, Greenwell. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll click on that link now, so I have it popped up in my browser, and I'll go check it out later. But like as far as what rigs I use for catfish is so this is which rod is it? This rod right here. This is what I've been using for a very long time. Just a 3-way swivel. I have my main line right here, and then I have my leader line right here. We have 30-pound is my main line. Normally, I just switched to this. Normally, I use 50-pound braid, but they don't cast well on bait casters, so I switched it. And now, and then I just have a clip, and that I clip my weight to. I don't have my weight on another line, which I've seen other people do. They just tangle around my leader line a lot, so that's why I just clip my weight right here, and then just right to a hook. No float, no nothing. That's what I've caught a lot of catfish on. That's what I caught my 62-pounder on. That's what I've had a lot of luck on. Recently, I just started using floats. I have the cigar floats, and also have the spooks as well. So I'm testing them out to see how if the hookup ratio is better, if I catch more catfish. So because I'm new into the catfish game, so as I adapt. I'm not going to just stick with one way. If I see something else that I like, then we're going to try some stuff out. So, right now, I'm throwing on all the cigar floats. I have a bunch of spooks, but spooks are expensive. Cigar floats, they're a lot cheaper.
Yes.
I'm just going to go through those right now as I experiment and get used to it and get comfortable before I just lose a bunch of spooks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if anybody watched my first 2 logs, they saw how much stuff I lost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I lost like 4 floats. I think I lost 4 to 6 hooks. No telling how many egg-shaped sinkers I lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I've lost a lot of tackle in the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of learning. You gotta learn what hook, what knots to tie.
Yeah.
What line to use. what pound line to use, what works better, braid versus mono in certain situations. You have to go through all those learning curves and figure out what's the best to use. And nothing's better than experience. People
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
but until you go out there and try it for yourself, you're not going to know.
Sogo says, new to the community and a 62-pound PB. I need that luck.
Yes. I've had my luck is like on my side. Like people say, I'm a lucky fisherman. I'm a lucky fisherman, but I'm also very versatile and knowledgeable, and I learn very quickly. And nothing beats just being out there, time on the water.
Time on the water. Yep.
If you're not out there, if you're not learning, you're not going to catch them. So just go out there and
absolutely.
Whatever expense it is, I don't care. I'm gonna, if I'm gonna buy lures, I'm gonna buy a reel, I'm gonna buy the bait, and I'm gonna go out there and have some fun. Like I just want to go fishing. If I can go 7 days a week, I'll be out there 7 days a week.
Oh, absolutely. All right, just Greenwell posted that link for the blackout bait.
All right, Greenwell, I just clicked on that.
Now, when you set up and you're ready to go out catfishing, do you already got all your rigs already set up and ready to go? Like you have extra set up and ready to go?
Yes. So now that I have an abundance of catfish reels and catfish rods, I have standbys. When I first started out, when you saw me in my live streams, I would have to tie on, leaders when I break off and stuff. I didn't have a lot of gear, but now that I've really got serious into catfishing and we only have a 3-rod limit in DC, and I have plenty of rods. I got 6 or 7, I got 8 probably rods and reels. So when I do my live streams and my shows and stuff, if something breaks off or snaps off, I just go right to the next rod, and then I'll retie that other rod on. That's definitely that's what I definitely learned. After as many rods out in the water as you can. When my brother out, which he will be out with me on live tomorrow, we'll be able to have 6 rods out. So that'll be great. Can't wait.
Oh yeah, it gives you better options. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what rigs do you usually normally like to use?
Yeah, three-way swivels are the rigs that I like to use. I have not tried the real Santee Cooper with the weight that slides up and down. I've never even tried it. I haven't experimented with it because what I use works. So it's like if what I use works.
Oh, absolutely. If you've got one way that works good, yep, absolutely.
It works good for my body of water, for my river. I catch a lot of fish on it. So I just stick with the three-way swivels. That's what works. So that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely. All right. Let's go with mono versus braid.
So I have a video that's going to be coming out where I go in depth about this. But spinning reels, braid. Bait casters, mono. Just because bait casters with braid on, I may have to. You got to really get into that bait caster and fine tune that because the braid flies off. It's the weight is flying off faster than what the reel is spinning, and it just bites down onto itself. And I've had a lot of backlash experiences. On my live streams, I've had. There's been like 2 live streams where I've had like 4, backlash break off snaps. So I just went. I was like, all right, I'm done with the braid on the bait casters, and I just went with mono, and that's what I did on all my bait casters. Now we just have mono.
Yeah. Soto says a 3-way with weak lead line beats a Santee in the currents, in his opinion.
Yes. I use 40-pound leader as my leader line, and I use Tri-Line Big Game. I just ordered 80-pound, and I'm gonna experiment with that to see how it goes. But 40-pound is what I've always used. I've always used a 50-pound main line and a 40-pound leader line. But we're gonna experiment now. 30-pound main line and a 40-pound leader line. But I just ordered the 80-pound, so we're gonna experiment.
That'd be good. It'd be good to see how that works out for you. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. One thing about me is I like to try new stuff, and I've had a couple catfish break off on the 40-pound. Now I know it wasn't because of the line; it was really probably because of the. I caught a bunch of catfish with Mark that day we were out, and we didn't inspect the line. This is what I always, you catch a catfish, you reel it in, you show it to the camera, and
Yeah.
then you just throw it back out there. You didn't check the line first. There was
Yeah.
probably some damage into that line. I lost a big catfish because of it. So
Yeah.
that will have you look. Once you lose a big catfish, you'll start thinking about your gear and start trying to, figure out new tactics.
So Murillo put up, so he said already cracked out a 50 and a 60. You trust your instincts on anything.
Yes. Oh man. Yes. I've went through a lot of stuff. But what I like is that trailing. And I find spots. I meet people. They show me some stuff. They show me, their secret spots, and we'll go out, and that's where I caught that big 62 at. A guy showed me a spot. And I've kept that spot secret, but the homeless people took it over, so I can't get it back. But yeah, I definitely trust my instincts, and I'm not afraid of failure. Like I'm not afraid, to be judged or be afraid to go out and not catch fish or anything. We're just gonna go out. We're gonna have some fun. Hopefully, we catch some fish. I use the right stuff, the right tackle, the right bait,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Wandering's got his. I don't know if I got him as a mod, but he's got his link to his store. So he might have some stuff on there for you might want to look at. Say hi, Mike Irvin's in here. So I pronounced it wrong. It's your weight line, not leader line, but you misspelled it. It's your fault.
Yes, a lightweight line. Yes, you're right about it. That way, if you get snagged, you only break off the weight and you get to keep the hook. But when majority of the time when I reel in fast. Now when I learned,
I've noticed that. I've noticed you have.
Fishing in rivers. When I reel in, I just try to get up off bottom as fast as possible so you don't get into snags. Because if you reel in slow and you let that weight drag across the bottom, you're gonna get into yourself a lot of problems. So I reel in fast, and majority of the time, if I do get snagged, it's on the hook. That's majority of what I've noticed is the hook gets snagged up.
Yeah. Murillo says that a lot of guys are afraid to be vulnerable or go outside their norm.
Oh yes, absolutely, 100% right, Mike Murillo, and shout out to you, man. I appreciate you and respect you a lot.
Absolutely.
I'm just a normal regular guy, man, and I'm gonna go out and we're gonna try it. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not afraid to be laughed at. I laugh at myself all the time. If I make a mistake, I acknowledge my mistake and I learn from it. I'm just that just comes from just being humble. Just being humble, not being big-headed or having a big ego. Nobody wants to see that. Somebody that thinks they know it all, that doesn't, that won't take advice from anybody. It's just, I don't know. That's not me. That's not what I like to be around. I like to keep positive vibes, positive energy. Cool.
Yeah. Chunky gets that to me every once in a while. He'll pop in one of my lives and he'll be like, "I'm just one of you guys." I'm like, and it's hard for me to tell him, "No, you're not." But
yeah,
it comes down to it. He really is. He's just one of us.
Yeah, he's one of us, but he's very experienced and he will give you advice. And I appreciate all the advice that he's given me. He's a great dude. When I first started doing my lives, he'll reach out to me, send me texts, and do this. And I listen, because he's been doing it a lot longer than I have, So I take heed to everything,
All right, let's get into bait. We'll start working on bait now. What do you prefer? Cut bait? Live bait?
I prefer cut bait.
Cut bait. Okay.
And I think that's just because of the time of year that I fish for catfish. Normally, like when I catfish, it's very seldom that I do it in the summertime. In the past year and a half since I started catfishing, I always do it in the fall, winter, and like that January, February time. And cut bait has been very good to me. Eel is when I'm spring, summertime fishing, I go out with eel. 99% of the time when I'm out catfishing, I have eel with me on the hook. Recently, I found out that carp works very, very, very good. Glizzies are hilarious. I love the fun with it, but I don't use it much for catfishing. Surprisingly, I just started using it, but it's just like a funny thing. Like that's what a lot of people know that he has. It's just glizzy time. Cause me and Mark, we were fishing, and it was wintertime. We lit a fire, and I always bring glizzies with me. So that's how that came to be, the fishing with glizzy. I know hot dogs catch fish, but
He's been on it with glizzies.
yeah, he has. The reason why I don't like them is because they come off the hook so easily. And
Yeah.
and some if you get a tap, or sometimes you don't even see, the tap, and you're thinking that you got some bait on there, but you're fishing with credit for like 40 minutes. When you finally put it in, you're like, dang, how long I had nothing on the hook,
Yeah, absolutely. Fishing with the Chad is in the house. Welcome, sir.
What's going on, Chad? But yes, carp, cut bait, shad, of course, cut bait, eel cut bait. I've tried dough. I've never catfish dough. I've never caught a fish on catfish ever on some dough. Never tried stink bait or anything like that. I don't know. That stuff just looks too messy for me. I don't know. I've tried liver before. That was before I found out about the thread, and every time I cast it, it would fly off the hook. That was like when I first started getting into catfish, and I've always heard chicken liver, chicken liver. Then I went out there and tried it without, looking up how to hook chicken liver, and that day was terrible.
Sogo said he's gonna try eel next weekend.
Not native to your lake. Okay, Sogo. In the Potomac River, eel is native, so we have a lot of eel in our population. So, but you can definitely try it. Chicken is obviously not native to
anybody's water. To anybody's water.
Yeah, and it works for bait. So I would definitely say give it a shot. You may want to wait a little bit, not next week, because I've had my luck with eel and like warm. I'm not sure how warm your water temps are, but definitely when the fish start getting active and they're biting consistently, that's the best time to experiment with any type of new baits. That's why I didn't try chicken until I was out fishing with my brother last week, because people kept trying try chicken. I'm like, it's wintertime. The bite comes few and far between in the wintertime. I'm going to try baits that I know work. I'm not going to experiment with anything.
Absolutely. All right, let's see. We've talked about poles, we've talked about the lines, we've talked about weights, talked about the bait. Let's talk about this. What's in your future when it comes to tackle? What are you seeing yourself when it comes in the future of tackle? I know you've got your merch line right now.
Yes, I have my merch line. I have hoodies, and I have long sleeve dry fits. Right now I'm working on short sleeves. Those are in the works right now. Short sleeve dry fit. It's gonna be a great shirt, and it has a hoodie on it, so that way you can hide from the sun. I know the big thing about being out fishing all day is sun. The sun definitely beats you up, and you want to hide from it. You don't want to be out there all the time getting sunburned. So it has the option. You can put the hoodie up. And I will be having hats coming very soon, too, as well. But as far as tackle, there's no works of me doing any type of tackle deals or rod deals or anything like that. I'm still a very, very, very small guy at the bottom of the pedestal when it comes to that. So we're just gonna, just use other people's stuff. But we're gonna try different brands. We're gonna try different lines. We're gonna experiment with stuff, seeing what works better. Because I know what does work, but I will I think as I go out fishing more, I will have like that one experimental rod with some different type of line, different type of hook, and just see it, how it works. So that way, what I like to do is I like to learn and figure it out, so that way I can tell you guys what to use and what not to use, so that you don't have to go through the problems that I go through. That's the thing that's good about me having a YouTube channel and having people that support the YouTube channel, because the money goes back into the YouTube channel, and I can spend that money to buy stuff to experiment with, and then tell you guys something that you guys should use or shouldn't use.
Sogo wants to know if you got a sleeveless option.
I do not have a sleeveless option yet, but I can definitely, I'll definitely, down the line, it's definitely an option. Right now, the way I do my merchandise is I buy my stuff. I get it custom. I make it. Well, I get somebody to make it. I order it, and I have it in stock in my house, and I ship it out myself. Just because I found that's the best quality stuff. I want to give you guys good stuff. If I don't want to wear it, I don't want you guys wearing it. So I don't go through the drop shipping companies and stuff like that. I'd rather just put up more money and invest and get you guys great quality stuff. So that's just the way I
am. Matt from Ohio wants to know if you've ever used whole eel or half.
If I've ever used
whole eel or half of
it. Cut bait. So the eel that I get, they're normally probably like about a foot long, foot and a half long, and I just cut it up into about 2-inch chunks and throw it out there on the hook. That's what I use, 2-inch chunks. And I love the head. That's my favorite part. Obviously, because you have all that the brain, the guts, and all that stuff. But the eel doesn't have much, like fish gut pocket doesn't have a lot of blood and stuff, but very, very, very distinct smell that an eel has. And catfish love them in the Potomac River, and it stays on the hook forever.
Oh yeah,
with the same piece of eel all day long until it runs out of scent, and then you have to switch another piece out. But it'll never come off the hook, ever.
The Sogo says the dry fit doesn't work well when cutting seams.
I got you, Sogo. I will have cotton too as well. That is going to be coming with the dry fit t-shirts. I will have cotton and dry fit. I just think dry fit is just when you're out there in the water getting wet, sweating and stuff, it just dries faster. That's why I like the dry fits.
So who you looking forward to fishing with now? New. You haven't fished with. I know you fish with Chunky. You've done with Mark 2.0.
Yes. I just recently fished with Chris from the Catfish crew. He's a great guy. Took us out on the boat fishing James River this past weekend. That was awesome. Even though we didn't catch any catfish, he definitely tried very hard. It was just a tough bite on the James River that day. Palmetto Cats Kevin, he's coming to DC this Friday, and I'll be fishing with him on Sunday. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I cannot wait for that. I want to fish with two Stans, Stan and his son, on the James River in Richmond. Looking forward to doing that. Haven't set up a date and time yet, but probably in the next month, I would definitely be out there to fish with him. And One Ton Fishing Club. I definitely want to get out there on Kerr Lake. And go fish with them. They look like a great bunch of guys. And of course, Chris Flores.
Absolutely.
To come fish with him. So I will be setting up a trip sometime. Not sure when, because I have to, I'm a busy guy and have a lot of stuff going on, and also have work too as well. But probably in the next 4 months, I'll be able to make it out there and go out there and fish with Chris. And Steve Douglas and Dieter Melhorn, those are two guys I definitely want to go fishing with too.
Definitely. All right. Anything we forgot? Anything you wanting to kind of go over a little bit more on your tackle? People kind of what?
Reels.
Reels. Oh yeah, absolutely. Forgot about reels. Most important of all the fishing stuff.
Most important.
Can't go fishing with just a pole.
So the very first bait caster that I got was this PC Fun Chaos 50. Um, and it's good. I like it. They're cheap. They're very affordable. They're like $45. I mean, when you're thinking of I ordered a bunch of rides, and the cheapest way to put reels on all those rides is just go with the cheapest reel out there.
Yeah.
But they're good quality. I'm not gonna give you guys a full review on it yet because I haven't put it down to the test. In a year's time, I'll let you guys know about it. But PC Fun, very affordable. Obviously with the Kevin's code CAT18. Then the next reel that I got was the Slime Cat, um, the Slime Cat 6000. These right here, they make a weird noise when you're casting out. Like it has a lot of friction on it. And I've loosened the brakes up on it and the tension on it. And I have 4 of them, 2 in right-handed and 2 in left-handed. It definitely does slow down the castability as far as that friction goes. But I do like it that they are stainless steel. They're pretty. Seems like a very pretty durable reel. But my favorite reel is the Pen Squall. This right here is my favorite one. I have a Pen Squall 20 LW. I used these on my friend's boat when he came up to DC. He had Pen Squalls and Pen Phantoms, or Fathoms, I believe, Pen Fathoms. And I love these reels. They're a little bit more pricey. You're talking about like $120.
Yeah.
That's why I went with the cheaper option. And then slowly I will start to switch over to these Pen Squalls. I ordered a Pen Warfare. I have it. I have to spool it up, and I'll be testing it out for the first time tomorrow to see how it compares to the Pen Squalls. Those are a cheaper option. I believe they're like $80.
Yeah.
But that's what we're using. That's what we're using. But you don't need expensive stuff. Those PC Funs, they work very good. You know what I'm saying? They'll definitely catch a fish. You definitely want something reliable. So far, it's been reliable. All the equipment that I have have been reliable. They've all worked. Nothing has slipped. So that's all you want is something, very reliable.
All right, with just going on top of the getting something that's reliable, that's not too expensive if you can't afford it. What do you suggest for the ones that are just getting out there and starting when it comes to tackle? We'll start with bass. What do you suggest to them if they're going to try to do some bass fishing or even just bait fishing? What do you think they should use?
If you're just getting into bass fishing, just get yourself a simple. Go get yourself a simple combo. You can go to Walmart and get yourself a spinning reel combo. Get yourself something $20, $30. If you're getting into it and you don't know if it's something that you're gonna like, just go out with that and get yourself some line there and figure out if it's something that you're gonna like and you're gonna love. And if you're going to, then you can slowly start to step your game up and getting into the more expensive stuff. But it's not necessary. You can go out there and catch fish all day long on a $20, $30 lose combo, special at Walmart or your Dick's Sporting Goods. The first combo that I bought was that lose Mach 2 Speed Spool, but that's like about $130 for a rod and reel combo. I had like a $20 off coupon, so I got it for like $110. But it's still a pricey investment if you're not sure if you want to go into it. So I just say go with the cheapest option. Go with whatever's in stock at your Walmart. Lose that's pretty good. Shakespeare, you can never go wrong with the Shakespeare. Those are classic.
All right, why not?
Yeah, go get yourself a GX2, ugly stick, whatever. Definitely. Those combos, I've caught plenty of catfish on those GX2, basic reels and rods. So and if you like it and it's something that you want to invest in, I will say fishing is very, very, very expensive. It gets expensive. It does get expensive. It's an expensive hobby, but it's fun. It's fun. It's very.
Hi, Fishing Chick. Welcome in here. She wants to know: is your PC Fun as good as the Cast King?
So I don't own a Cast King. I've never used a Cast King. That's one of the reels that I need to get. But the Slime Cat reel is very similar to the Cast King. From what I've heard from comparisons, they're pretty much the same reel, just Slime Cats is green and the Cast King, is that red. But Cast King I've heard are very, very great reels. I've heard that over time the drag disc slip on them. But that's like with anything, you're gonna have nothing's gonna last forever. So you're just gonna have to replace it. But definitely, Cast King is very affordable. If that's what you got, go ahead and put it on there. On your Muddy River. I'm not gonna tell somebody to go out and I'm not the big on. It has to match. Like your reel has to match a rod, has to match with it. Whatever you have, go with that. Just go out fishing.
Yeah.
Go out and catch some fish. The fish don't care what color you got.
Oh no, absolutely not. They don't. No. What's up, Mo Creek? What's up, Fishing with Big Mike? Welcome in. All right. Let's get into catfishing. What do you suggest to them on if they're getting into catfishing like you were? What do you think could be a budget-friendly setup for them?
When I got into catfishing, I bought a Penn Fierce 3. That was like a $100 combo from Dick's Sporting Goods. We don't have a lot of catfish gear. Dick's Sporting Goods doesn't sell a lot of catfish
No.
gear. Walmart doesn't either. If you want something, you're gonna have to order it online. And I didn't know about, I wasn't that into catfish, and I didn't know about the companies and the rods and reels and all that stuff. But I wanted something that was versatile, and I can go, catch all different types of species on it. So I would say Penn Fierce, or Penn Battles. They're a very good brand, very good company, very good quality. The rod itself is a stiff rod. It's a medium heavy action. It's going to give, I caught a 52 pounder on it. It's going to give you, all the backbone that you need to go out there and catch. And the reel is good too. The reel is a good quality reel. So that's what I would suggest when you're very first getting into it. But once you want to double down and you want to get into some of this nice looking gear and stuff, go with that Chris Flores Muddy River Blue Cat rod. You can't go wrong with that. And he's a great guy. So I support the people more than I support, just the brand or the company. And he's a great guy and has a great story. So definitely look into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm using what I can afford right now. So
yes. You use what you can afford. That's whatever can get you out there on the water today. Don't save up, a month's worth of something and that money can go to something else. Just go get you something cheap, because it's not even about the rod and the reel. It's about your line. It's about your hooks. It's about the knots you tie. That's the most important when it comes to catching the fish. The rods are going to catch the fish. The reels are going to reel in the fish, for the most part. You may have something, fail on you but for the most part, you're going to catch the fish, as long as you have the right line, the right hooks.
Yeah. And don't forget the right bait.
You just want something that's strong and that's sharp. You can use any brand. It doesn't matter,
Oh, no.
Any brand.
And always make sure you got the right bait too.
Of course.
Get the right bait.
I learned that the hard way, when it came to catfish. Like my first 5 times out catfishing, I didn't catch a catfish.
Honestly, I've been in the same boat. I've been using chicken gizzard.
Yeah.
And I've not been catching nothing, so I'm gonna have to switch over to cut bait, which I've got 3 of them sitting in the freezer right now, ready to go. So
cut bait, it works very, very well. I got some Mondo gizzard shad in my freezer that I'm about to thaw out and take out there tomorrow. And I'm running across the street and get me some chicken too as well, because I had some very good luck with chicken. And I need to toughen it up, so I need to let that sit and salt. That's the trick too, is if you're gonna use like hot dogs or chicken and stuff like that, salt it the day before, a couple of days before, and let it toughen up that skin so it doesn't fly off the hook as much.
Big Mike says the Berkeley Big Game High is good.
Yes, I use Trilene Big Game line. and that's very good.
And he also says that the ugly sticks are a good rod.
Yes, GX2s. I have a couple of them. This right here, the one that Ricky's Creations customized right here for my wife. This is the GX2 that he customized, and I have another GX2 over there. They're very good. Very good.
And Merlin says everyone is set on a set budget. Some budgets are set higher than others.
Yes.
There's no wrong or right.
Yeah. I have a very extensive collection now, but I've had it over time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, over time, I started fishing almost 2 years ago, and that's when I started collecting rods and reels. And usually, probably about once a month or every couple months, I look into adding to the tackle, adding a new rod or adding a new reel or something.
Ernie Brown's in the house. Forgot to say hi to you, sir. He says he's used both, and they both are good. The Berkeley, and I guess he's used the ugly sticks.
Yeah.
Ohio Matt from Ohio says that he's got two his Loose Combo and Catfish Pro.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Lose is I'm not sure where the company's based out of, but I do like Lose. Like I said, that was my very first bait caster that I got. And I also have some spinning reels and Lose as well.
And I agree with Ernie. Ernie says that use what you can buy and feels good to you. Because not all rods are going to feel good in your hand.
Yes, and you will see. There's a learning curve to every rod that you get. When you have I would say the medium heavy actions, those are the easier ones to cast because they have that stiff backbone. When you have a lighter rod and you're trying to go, especially when you're catfishing, you're trying to go with heavier weight. Like my GX2, I've casted 6 ounces, 8 ounces. That thing is only rated up to 2 ounces or 3 ounces. But some pretty heavy weight on there, and it'll still cast it out there. But you definitely have to get over that learning curve. I'm still learning how to cast my Whisker Seeker. It's a 9'6". And that was my very first rod. Up to that point, my longest rod was 7 4. I didn't. And to learn how to that trajectory, that point where you need to let that bait go is I'm still learning right now. But my distance is getting better and better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like Big Mike, he uses those big 10-foot plus.
Yeah.
And he is. And those are some monster rods.
Yeah. And those more come from, I think, people that like to ocean fish more. They like those big, longer rods to get over the waves when they're fishing those 13-foot, 14 foots. I think catfish is a little overkill. These.
It is, but with where he's at, if you're bank fishing, you almost need something like that to get over into the spots, the deeper spots.
Gotcha.
Cast out farther, and I think that's what he uses. He uses it's a 12-foot surf rods.
Wow.
But he uses it to get over that deep spots where he can get the bigger fish.
Yeah. And that also depends too, as where your area is. You have to fish for your body of water. What works for me is not going to work for you. And
absolutely. No.
Somebody in Tennessee, it's gonna for me, the fish in the Potomac River. If I'm on the Maryland side, I have to bomb my baits out there, because Maryland is a slow, gradual, until it drops off. But if you're fishing from the Virginia side, all you need to do is 50-yard cast, and you're in the deepest water in the channel. The channel runs on the Virginia side, so it depends, where you're fishing at. Speaking of tackle and what to use, Navionics, even if you're bank fishing, is a very, very, very great tool to use. You're gonna go look at us. You found a spot on Google Maps. Look at the Navionics. See the water depth. Look at the strut. See if you have deep drop off. See if you have points, because those are where you want to cast to. That way you don't just, go out there and fish it 5, 6, 7 times before you realize, oh, this is the spot that's hitting. This is the spot where the fish are. When you look at the Navionics, where to go to. Where to catch. What's going to be the best spot. That's going to give you the best hookup ratio.
Welcome, Roger from Muskrat. He's got a show coming on in about an hour. So definitely everybody, after this show's over, definitely jump over on him. I think DMV's live right now.
Mhm.
I know Chad was jumping back and forth. There's the one tonners. There's Avid. Welcome, guys.
Hey,
Arts
what's
one ton.
up? Thanks for coming in, man.
Yep, absolutely. Welcome, come in. I think let's see who said something about Ohio. Matt. So he uses the his 10-footer rods all the time, even in the lakes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 9, 10 foot, 9 foot 6, 10 foot. They're that's pretty much the same, and I love it for bank fishing. When I'm bank fishing, my whisker seeker is always with me. 9 foot 6 definitely helps, with casting distance. And I've noticed that I get better casting distance on a spinning reel than I do a bait caster.
Yeah. I mean, mine are set up. I'm just got spinning right now reels.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
I'm using 40 pound mono. I think is what I'm using on mine.
gotcha,
So, with a Kentucky rig.
gotcha.
So, but for me, where I live, there's not much current, so I can put a 2 ounce. I think it's 2 ounce um, weight on mine, and it'll drop all the way bottom, and I won't have to worry about it moving nothing for me. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. When you're fishing tougher current, like I always cast upstream because
Yeah.
I know by the time my bait hits the bottom, it's gonna be right in front of me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know I saw Stan, they were having that issue a lot of times. They'd have to cast up and let it come down to them.
Yeah, and the James, they have a very heavy current.
Yeah.
I was fishing the James on Saturday, and we were in a boat, and off the back of the boat, you're throwing 10 ounce, and then your side you're throwing 12 ounce, and you're 45 degrees, and then your ones that you're sending straight out to the side, you're throwing 16 ounces, because
Yeah.
that's the ones that are getting stuck in the current, and they're getting pushed. And those 16 ounces, 1 pound was still getting pushed with the current
Yeah.
until it hit the bottom. So it definitely depends on the current that you're fishing, the body of water that you're fishing.
Oh, absolutely. And Soto, that's correct. Yeah, especially when you have a bait caster, you got to dial that in because the bait casters will outcast the spinning guaranteed as long as you got it dialed in right.
Yeah. You have to get them. Yeah, you have to get them fine tuned and dialed in, and that takes time. All my
Yeah.
base classes are new. I've had them for like a month, and just as over time as I keep playing around with them, and also sometimes you have to change out some parts too to give it the best casting distance. Because even good bait casters, they still put cheaper parts in there, but you can always take them apart
Yeah.
and create the fly disc, I believe, in there and such, and
Yeah,
also.
your rings are. I think they use them as plastic instead of using the metal.
Yes. And when you upgrade those to metal and then you lubricate them and you
Yeah.
put different type of lubricant in there, I've seen other YouTubers where they've taken apart reels and they put them back together and they get like 30, 40 more yards out of casting distance just by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think Big Mike said he ordered 2 more of his 12-foot slime cats, but he actually broke one of his today. Had to send it back. Ouch.
Thanks. It broke. Was that on a fish or was it user error?
Mike, was it on a fish? Ceiling fan.
Ceiling fan? Okay.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
The rod breaks is because somebody ceiling fan or they close it in a car door.
Car door. Yes.
That's what you hear a lot. So I always make sure I check my rods before I close the trunk.
That's why I like having a truck. I can just put it in the back and don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's mine too. I have an SUV. I just make sure the butts aren't hanging out. But yeah, my truck I have 15 rods in there at one time sometimes.
Yeah, Thomas says he's taken reels apart, I'm guessing, and put them back together, and didn't work after he put them back together.
Oh yeah, see that what would happen to me if I took a reel apart. That's why I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that. I'm not that mechanically inclined to remember how to put one back together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at it, at doing, doing stuff like that. But I don't know, it's a little intimidating, man. When you look at the schematics and you're looking at 45 parts, I'm just like, yeah, man, I don't feel like messing with that. But I may do that because I have a couple of reels laying around, and I don't know. When I get bored one day, I may just take it apart and see what it's all about.
Especially if you ain't got one that's you're not using. You just want to learn how to take them apart. If you want to upgrade them already.
Yeah, yeah. I have I think like three that are just sitting in boxes, so I may do that.
Absolutely. All right. Um, Kind of went through most of all the tackle stuff. Everybody that's in chat, down in the description, make sure you check out Haz's merch store. I've also loaded up his PayPal account and stuff like that. Make sure you hit him up if you want to still support him on his channel and anything he has in there. I've also got my PayPal link in the description to help support this channel, especially with this kind of talk show going on. And some of my lives will be coming up. Hopefully, get back on the water starting this Thursday. Hopefully, we'll be getting back up again. Like I said, next week we've got Tim Scott from Epic Catfish and Sean from Catfish Heroes, the Epic Duo. We got them coming on. Be live next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The following week, we've got the Bumpin' Mike Greenwell that next following week. And we might even, I don't know if he's supposed to be dropping a video anytime soon. We might even have the week after that, Pete from South Africa.
Oh.
So we might even have him. We don't know yet. That's still in the works. I was talking with him today, so that might work. So, I'm glad you said that, Big Mike. Cameras, phones, GoPros. What's your setup?
So I use the GoPro Hero 8 Black, I believe it is. Yeah, GoPro Hero 8 Black. That's my main one that I use on my chest, and I use my iPhone. And then I just added the GoPro Hero 7 White.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I had a phone call. Then I have the GoPro Hero 7 White. That's my takedown camera on the boat. I have not invested in. I don't know. I probably won't invest in one of those big fancy cameras just because it's so easy to use your iPhone camera as that's the camera that I'm talking to when I'm doing my intros for the videos, and when I'm doing my B-roll footage, I just pull out my iPhone because it's right there in my pocket. I don't want to carry around something big and bulky in one of those, expensive Sony mirrorless cameras or something like that. Because you already have a bunch of gear, you got a bunch of rods, you got a bunch of everything else, and then you have to worry about a camera on top of that. So, I just went with the GoPro. When I first started my videos, though, for like my first 5 videos, I ordered a strap that allows you to strap your phone to your chest. And I use that before to make sure this is what I wanted to do, when I first got into YouTube. And I used KineMaster to edit. The app that you can use on your phone. And that's how I did like my first 5 or 6 videos. And then once I knew that this is what I wanted to get into, I invested in getting a GoPro. And once I got the GoPro, that's when I realized, all right, I can't use my phone anymore to edit videos because there's too much footage, too much storage, space when it comes to gigabytes. That still takes up a lot of space.
Oh yeah.
So then I had to get a computer, and I invested in a Mac, just because I've used Macs pretty much my whole life, so I'm just very good with them. And software that I use to edit is Final Cut Pro, which I use a hack. I've never paid for the program. I've downloaded the trial version, And once you download the trial version, like you get like 90 days, and then once the trial date is over, you just change your date on the computer back to one of those days inside that 90 days when the trial worked, and you're able to open up the app. So that's how I've been editing my videos for 2 years. and
Nice.
Final Cut is like a $400 program, and I've been using
Oh
it
yeah,
this whole time.
absolutely. I use I've got Windows 10, so I just use its normal video editor on mine.
Yeah.
So, and I did this last time. My intro, I used a different program, but if you look at my intro, it's got the program right in the middle of the entire video. So,
okay.
I may not be using them anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care for them having that label in the middle, just to be able to have their copyright.
Yeah, exactly. That's how KineMaster was until I paid for the premium version, and then it takes their tag out. And that's how Streamlabs is too. Like when I was doing my Streamlabs and StreamYard too, they always tag their stuff up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all over my screen right now. So
yeah. Until you pay for it, they're gonna tag their stuff up all over.
Yeah. Who was it? Somebody asked. Matt asked, do you throw a cast net yet?
I haven't thrown it yet. It's still in the package. I haven't thrown
still in the package.
Yeah, I've had it for like a month now, and I'm just so busy that I haven't had taken the time out to go practice with it yet. But yeah, I will be practicing with it, and I think I'll be pretty good at it. I just haven't thrown it yet, but I will be. I don't have my boat right now, so I can't even throw it. My boat is in the shop, but I'm hoping to have it back in the next week or so. Just they have to replace the steering helm on it, so just waiting for that to be done.
All right. Anybody in chat's got any questions for Haz? Any questions?
And also to piggyback on the cameras, power banks.
Yep.
Definitely keep a bunch of power banks. When I started out, I just I used I don't even remember the brand, but it's like an $18 power bank on Amazon. You just go on Amazon, you search power banks, you can pretty much find them. And I started off with one, then I ordered 2 more, and I used that to run like my live show. The GoPro batteries, they are terrible. They only last for 50 minutes tops.
Yeah.
And
that's why you always hear.
Sorry about
hear them always. Yeah, that's fine. That's why you always hear them say GoPro off, GoPro on.
Yeah, the batteries are terrible. I went from, I came with one, then I bought like 2, 3 more. But if you're gonna be out on the water for 6 hours and you got 2 GoPros, you're gonna need like 40 batteries.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was like, this is too expensive. I'm not doing that. So Yo,
yeah.
Hey, let me call you right back. Sorry about that.
No problem. Sunfish Assassin's in here. He wants to know who is your biggest fan?
Sunfish Assassins in the house. Well, before I got monetized, before I got memberships, he wanted to join the Hazlife fam and the memberships and everything like that, man. Big shout out to Sunfish Assassin, man. I appreciate you, buddy.
Kevin, Paul Meadows is in here. Kevin, since you are in here, sir, without breaking this on a ceiling fan like Mike, Big Mike, there it is, sir. There is that rod with that nice white tip. So, as soon as I get a bait caster, it will be put to use there, Mr. Kevin Palmetto. Arts wants to know, says, Haz, you should go live when you are trying to throw your cast net. So they definitely want to see you.
I don't want to see that. Y'all don't want to see that. If y'all want me to go live, I would do that, man. If that's something that you guys want to see. I will, just so you know, I didn't cheat. I will open the package up live, and then, but I'm not gonna be on the water throwing it. I'm gonna be in the yard throwing it. I'm gonna go at the field and test it. The first time I throw it, I'm not gonna. So y'all can critique me and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Laugh at me.
Marilla wants to know when Team Chazunky reunites.
It will be next month sometime. We'll definitely do it again. I'm a busy guy. Chunky's a busy guy. But we definitely will. We definitely will. I can't wait. Oh man! And then Chunky just dropped that video too today when he was eating that worm.
Worm, yes.
It took me right back to that day, man. We had a blast, man. It was a lot of fun. We had great chemistry. And that was my first time fishing with him too. I met him, a couple times in person, but that wasn't for long. We didn't get to hang out or do anything. So that was cool, to do, man. It definitely will. Next month we'll definitely have a show for you guys.
Yeah. They definitely want to see the first throw of the cast net. And how big of a net can you use up in your area?
10 foot, I believe. I don't know, actually. I don't know. But I know you can throw 10 foot is like, what people say is the biggest to get. But I got an 8 foot. So I actually don't know the biggest cast net you can throw. But I know 10 foot. But do they have bigger ones than 10 foot for cast nets?
Ernie says, I watched a vid you will get in. Oh, that's about something about you getting about 20 casts. Something.
Yeah. I have an 8 foot, so we're gonna try that out. We're gonna see how. We're gonna see. I may have to stand on a chair or something to throw it. I don't know.
I was gonna say, Sogo says you need to start with a shorter one than you.
Yeah.
You always start with the one that's shorter than you.
Yeah. See, I'm just the kind of guy where I just go for the challenge, So I know 10 foot was like they said it was gonna be very hard. 5 foot, we're like, yeah, go with that. But I don't know. That 8 foot just means bigger diameter, more fish. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with the challenge and just go with the 8 foot, and we'll try that out.
Fishing Chick says she's gonna put out a how to throw a cast net video just for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I will definitely check it out. I will.
Said Muskrats. Roger says that you'll get the 8. Said watch a few videos.
Yeah, I've watched oh, that's too bright. Let me turn this down. Yeah, I've watched a bunch of videos on it. I found one guy who makes it look very, very, very easy. I haven't tried it yet, but the way he makes it seem looks very easy. So we're gonna try.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I just looked with whatever one looked the easiest process and didn't have to do a lot. Didn't have to put it in your mouth and like bite on it and all that stuff. Because I've seen some people do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. What else? Anybody said anything? Yeah. Miss Fishing Chick. It looks like that's it. We got caught up on all the chat on everybody. Yeah, said Thomas Lopez said anyone that can throw one makes it look easy.
I know. They definitely do. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too hard. But we'll see. I'll go live and y'all will see it. I'll go live for the first time when I throw the cast net.
All right. Well, I guess we will go ahead and call it the show. It's been good. We've got a lot of information in, especially stuff that has been using, what's been working for him. Like I said before on other shows, anything you hear in these shows, it might be good for him, but it might not be good for us. So everybody just take what you can, what you got, what places you're fishing. Start out small. Don't go out and buy the most expensive rod and reels, the most expensive tackle, and every setup. Start out small, work your way up. it's going to take a while for you, especially in your waters. The biggest thing is time on the water. Every one of us has said that time on the water makes it worth it, and you will get on those fish no matter what kind of setup you've got. Any last words, Has?
Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate you inviting me on the show. I had a great time.
No problem.
Big shout out to you, man. And I just want nothing but the best for you and your channel and your growth. And I'm looking to meeting you eventually.
Yep.
We can get out there before the Cat Con. If not, if you're going to be there at the next one, I definitely will be.
Yep.
And thanks to everybody that's been watching, supporting. Appreciate you guys, man. God bless.
All right, guys. This has been What's in Your Tackle. Like I said, tune in next week with Tim Scott and Sean with Epic Catfish and Catfish Heroes. We'll have one epic of a show for you. We'll talk about tackle for them. It's going to be a donkey of a tackle. So make sure you tune in Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Bullock Experience. I am Kelly Bullock with the Bullock Experience. This is Mr. Haz with Hazlife. Make sure you check out his channel, subscribe, and make sure you support him. Hit the thumbs up on his videos. Make sure you come in mine. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Give me a comment on some of my videos. If you want to support Haz, make sure you hit his links. They're in the description. He's got his PayPal link in there. Also has his merch link in there. I've got my PayPal link in there. Make sure if you want to support me and get this channel keep on going, especially with this live show we're talking about tackle, go right ahead. Ernie says make sure you hit him up after the show there, Mr. Haz.
What's that?
Ernie says make sure you hit him up.
Okay, I got you.
Yep. All right, guys. This is Fish. What's in Your Tackle? Peace out.
All right, peace.